Hello Internet, my name is Loria, and welcome to week 2 of my October book bingo, where I try to fill out a bingo board, and the amount of bingos I get is the amount of books I can buy in the next month. That's it for the intro. We're just going to jump straight into it now. The first book that I read this week was Book Lovers by Emily Henry. So this one's about a literary agent. She's known as the Shark. She's really good at her job. She's really close to her sister, who is currently pregnant, but things have been a little weird between them. She feels like there's like something between the two of them, and she's not sure what. So when her sister suggests going to this small town named Sunshine that one of her author's books takes place in, she agrees. So she spends the next month living this small town life when really she's a very big city literary agent and she really likes her life, but she wants to know and build bridges or figure out what's going on between her and her sister. While she's there, she's met an editor that she met briefly once who rejected one of her books, the author's book, the one that actually takes place in the Sunshine. And they fall in love because it's a romance book. That's what they do. I really liked this one. I gave it 4.5 stars. I think it's my favorite Emily Henry book that I read so far. So of the 4, it's my favorite. Let's see. As for where to put it on the book bingo, its cover is close, but I wouldn't consider it green. To me, it's more blue. It's teal, but it's more blue in my brain. Does not take place during a holiday. I wonder if I count it as a booktube darling. Anything Emily Henry counts as a booktube darling, but I feel like that's kind of cheating. Book Lovers, that's 2 words. Takes place in summer. It takes place in summer, so we're going to go ahead and we'll put it in takes place in summer. And then the next book that I read was One Dark Window. It's the first book in the Shepherd King book. This one is about a girl. Okay, so it's fantasy. So in this world, magic comes at a price. There's kind of 2 main magic systems. One is these almost like tarot cards. It's a deck of magic cards, basically, where they grant the user's power. And then also you can get infected. And then when you are done with being infected and go through the sickness, then you have a magic power. But always when you use magic powers, there is some sort of price. So the cards, they usually have a flip side to them. So for example, there's a card that can influence people, the way people feel, but it also causes the user pain. And then for like these magical powers given by the sickness, there's usually some sort of deterioration process. So the main character, she is in fact infected when she was a little girl, and the power that she got was to absorb the cards if she touches them. And when she was younger, she touched the nightmare card. So now she's got a nightmare living in her head. Using magic other than the cards is illegal, so she's trying to dodge that. I really liked this book. I gave it a 4. I think the prose was really well done. I think the pacing was well done. I was on board with the romance. It's not like my favorite romance in the world, but I definitely didn't dislike it. This one definitely is a booktube darling. It also has a green cover. I'm going to put it under green cover. I feel like I'm more likely to read a booktube darling just because that's a lot of what gets suggested to me. The next book I read was The 5th Season. And it took me a little bit to get into this one. It has multiple point of views, but the main point of view, or at least I consider it, I think there's kind of 2 main point of views. So this is another kind of fantasy post-apocalyptic. In this world, it is very seismically tumultuous. There's a lot of earthquakes that happen. It regularly goes through what they call a 5th season, which is when one of these catastrophic events happens, it puts enough stuff in the atmosphere that it causes like this long winter, like an ice age kind of deal. And this world goes through this cycle of frequent enough amounts that they have a name for it. As a result, civilizations in the past have fallen down. So there's a lot of ruins from old people who have tried to live and kind of fell apart. And then in this world, there are basically earthbenders. They can quell the earthquakes in certain areas to make sure that certain places, at least, do not get affected when the end of the world happens. If you hear crinkling, that is my cat playing. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but she's been very active right this second. The book starts with one of these events that breaks Pangea essentially and is going to start a really, really long fifth season is what they call these winter events. So one of the point of view characters, her name is Cyanite. She is one of these earthbenders. They have made a society where they gather all these earthbenders and they have very strict rules for them so they can help the thing, because everyone's scared of them because they can break up the world if they want, or they could like save them. So the normal people are very afraid of them in general. So they built this society where they follow very rigid rules, and there's these people called guardians that make sure that you only use their powers for good as opposed to just destroying everyone. So there's that going on, and she gets sent on this mission to do this coral thing, and she has to go with the most powerful earthbender they have because they want to make powerful earthbender babies. So the society has told them to go on this mission together so they can make babies while they're on their way. And then the other main point of view character is this person who she is also an earthbender, and she had a child. Her husband figured out that her child was an earthbender when a really bad event happened and killed him, and now she is trying to find her husband to get revenge on him for killing their son and also to save their daughter. I really liked this book, but one of the things, it will never be a 5-star for me because one of the point of view characters, the one with the dead child, is in the hello stage. You guys can't see her, but she's there. There's my cat. If you see a tail walk across, I apologize. The older lady who has the children died is in the second point of view, so it refers to her as you, and I personally don't like that. I've seen it work effectively in some short stories, but as a major point of view character in a fantasy novel, I didn't really like it that much because I go, no, I don't have any children. I definitely don't, not a magic, I can't earthbend. So that's a me thing. But I really liked as the events unveiled. I thought it had very good pacing. The suspense it has good suspense. Wasn't afraid of having some nitty gritty stuff. I enjoyed the book. I have requested the next book. It is, I think, a trilogy. I could be wrong. I don't know how many books. So where the fifth season can go on the bingo board, I want to say, okay, so Book Talk, BookTube Darling. I think I'm actually going to put it there. I don't know if it's like popular on BookTube Talk in general, but I do know I know this book because of a booktuber. I think Lexi suggested it or like read it, and that's where I heard of it from. So we're gonna put it there. And then the last book I read this week is called Geek Girl. It is about this girl. She is English, as in England, London, not London precisely, but England. And she is a geek. I think this is older. When was this published? Because I don't know if it's a geographical sort of thing or if it is a age thing, but I wonder. I feel like the term geek and nerd has switched around a little bit over the years. Well, I'm glad I searched this because now I know it is currently a TV show. Who knew? But anyway, she goes to this fashion event with her best friend who wants to be a model, and rather than the best friend getting spotted by an agent and becoming a model, she's the one who gets spotted and recruited to be a model. She is unpopular at school, and so she kind of thinks this might be her chance to make herself a new person. So that is that book. It's really short, cute. I thought it was like middle grade. I thought the characters felt very 12 to 13-year-old to me, but apparently they're 15. I'm going to put it as a movie TV show because I just found out it has a movie and a TV show, and that means I just need a book and a retelling of a classic fairy tale to get a bingo. Or a new OTP and a middle grade fiction. That's all very doable for me. And so this book we added Book Lovers takes place in summer. We added a One Dark Window for green cover, the 5th season for BookTube Darling /suggestion, and then Geek Girl can go into has a movie TV show. Thank you very much. I hope you join me next week.